technology, and I'm testing it on you. You're my guinea pigs, and while we do that, I go through social media news for Australia, for the world. We just have a poke around and see what's interesting, and we look at how I've set things up and what I'm doing. And while we do that, I've shifted around my green screen. So I still have a green screen, but now I'm putting it through my Vision switcher, which is a Blackmagic 8M Mini Pro ISO. I have a couple of these, and it does the green screen really well. I've chosen a blue picture today. However, I'm struggling to get the cutout where I'm in the bottom of the screen and whatever, but we'll figure that out another day. I just like the quality of this green screen, because anybody who was watching, I think it was Thursday's live stream, would have noticed that I had green hair, and I was doing that through software. So now I'm doing it through the hardware. Much better. Please let me know if you can hear me. We do have a little chat screen here so that I can have a look at what you're saying and answer you. So by all means, ask me a question about social media, ask me a question about my Zoom and recording studio setup, ask me a question about what I did on the weekend, whatever you like. I don't let people know that I'm doing these live streams at the moment because they are test live streams, but we need to get on to the social media news. So hello and welcome to Social Media News Monday, or whatever it is we're calling it. Still haven't decided. My name is Lowell Papworth, and I'm going to switch to the news now. Thanks, Denise, on LinkedIn. I appreciate you letting me know that you can see and hear me. If there's any crackle, could you let me know? Because I believe that Blackmagic has a thermal heat issue. But I've changed my whole computer setup, so I'm hoping it will stay. It feels a bit hot. We'll see. Maybe it will stay cool. Maybe it won't. All right. Onwards and upwards. Lowell Papworth here, social media extraordinaire person. And my title depends on who it is I'm speaking to and how they see me. We're going to move now into something that I've been talking about for weeks, which is I've been using Feedly as my feed reader, as my social media monitoring dashboard, not distribution dashboard necessarily, although it does it. I've been using Feedly and Fetch RSS for years. I think I looked the other day and I'd been spending about $4 a month, and I've spent hundreds of dollars with them. I've decided to go with InnoReader because it takes the two tools and puts them into one. And they have a Black Friday deal that's on today, Cyber Monday. And it's you get an additional 6 months. I think it's about $6 a month for the two together. And what this allows me to do is to take Facebook pages that I'm not the admin of. So as an example, let's move into here. Here's a Facebook page called Facebook App, and this is for Australia. So I'm monitoring Facebook news in Australia. Now, I'll be honest with you, Facebook does turn RSS feeds on only for their own pages, but if you were trying to monitor a competitor's page or something, this is the kind of tool that you would use. We're having a chat, okay? So don't expect a lecture style. Denise says, call it Social Media Mondays, all loud and clear. Yes, I agree. Both the name and hopefully my mic are all loud and clear. So let me make this larger for you. I just want to remind you that you have control over your own settings as well. So if you can't see this clearly, what you may want to do is, move me out of the way, is there's a cog and you can turn the video high definition, I think, or you can make it clearer so you can see it more clearly. So this is a Facebook page, Facebook app, the Australian Facebook page. And what I do is I add it to my reader. And I'm still learning how to do this, but I go to subscriptions. I'm thinking what I need to do is make this light. Maybe that's clearer when I'm recording. I like the dark mode myself, but let's add an item. And you go here and you add in a helps if you can type facebook.com/ and let's do, silk charm. And it says no feeds found. So do we have to do HTTPS? I can't remember. And then it comes up here, Facebook pages. And now it burns feeds of Facebook pages and forces a feed. And it's always the one at the bottom, and I have no idea why it does this. I've given it the exact link, and it's maybe, I don't know. I bought this yesterday, and I'm only just now cancelling the other services. So if InnoReader doesn't do a good job, and I'm concerned that it's not, why doesn't it take the exact URL? Probably user error. Like I said, I'm testing things at the moment. So if you're new here, Social Media Mondays is where I test tech, I test software and hardware, I test my studio setup, I test software I bought on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And this is not how I teach in classrooms at university or professional development courses or boardrooms or conference workshops. This is not how I teach online when I'm mentoring. I need someone to practice on, and that someone is you today. So this is why I'm crap at understanding how InnoReader works. But we'll get there. You get the idea though. If I go to official companies and I click on Facebook app AU, I was successfully able to bring in a Facebook page here. I need to figure out how to do this. I'm not sure about InnoReader, and I'm not wholeheartedly suggesting that you rush in and buy the Black Friday Cyber Monday deal. I don't find them generous. As an example, I think it's 20 feeds that you're allowed to monitor this way, which is too limited. And so to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, you end up paying a fortune. And there are free readers out there. And I just think we should take a moment's silence for Google Reader, because it's gone. And Google Reader was awesome. Reader was feeds, and the options there, if you used Google's feed burner with Google Reader, with everything else, was brilliant. But hey ho. Let's have another look at another one. So Facebook has about 80 microsites that I like to monitor, that I've found for news. And Facebook Newsroom is their press room. This is where they make announcements about consumer-facing campaigns to the press, so the press can pick it up and move with it. But there's another one I want to add in here, which is called Facebook for Media, which is a different service. Training Facebook. This is training journalists how to use Facebook. So it's kind of a different beast. What can I say? So I need to see if InnoReader will work for this one. If it doesn't, I'm going to ask for my money back. Okay, so I'm going to add the feed, and I'm going to paste in the actual link that I want. It's Facebook Media home is not a Facebook page. I believe it's WordPress. Typically, Facebook uses WordPress for their microsites. And in a reader is going to slow down like you would not believe. Facebook pages in a reader, Twitter, Google News. Okay. If I go here, no, there's no RSS feed available on the page itself. So you have to use a feed burner. So it's going to be Fetch RSS. It's going to be one of these. I may have to resubscribe to Fetch RSS and use it with InnoReader, in which case I might as well stay with Feedly. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Do you use an RSS reader? How are you monitoring competitor pages? And are you doing it for $4, $5, $6 a month, or are you spending hundreds or thousands or corporate services? I want you to remember, though, I'm in the countryside in the Blue Mountains, way outside of Sydney. And for some reason or the other, Telstra put our house, which is the last house on the street, not on the nearest box, but the next one. And apparently we're one of the furthest away for internet-based services. So, which is odd because both Gary and I do a fair amount of streaming. Okay, so it's not very good. It's clearly using a search form and it's not taking the actual URL. So I don't think InnoReader is going to work for me. If you know what I'm doing wrong, please let me know. But I need something I can put the link in and get the feed and have it burn a feed. I don't want it giving me Z News and Lad Bible and OTV when I'm looking for a specific page called facebook.com/4media. Now, what I will say is that a lot of the feed burner services struggle with facebook.com URLs, particularly when it's not going to a Facebook page. Facebook themselves have no idea what they're doing of. The fact that they don't have an RSS feed for journalists, who are the heaviest users of RSS feeds in the world because they're monitoring their niche-based sites, looking for news, looking for what's trending, looking for topics. They're bringing in Twitter lists, they're bringing in Facebook lists, they're bringing in all the different things that they're monitoring. And the fact that Facebook turns off RSS for their media services is just nuts. But hey-ho. What are we going to do? What I could do is take that URL. This is a little tip for you guys. Let's have a look and see how this works out for us. So we go to advanced search, Google Advanced Search, google.com/advanced_search. I should remember that one. And in the URL, we put in 4media. And then I want these words, RSS. No. See, Facebook knows what an RSS feed is because they allow media to use RSS to create instant articles, but they don't allow us to create instant articles from their own press and news. So crazy. All right, we're going to have to use an RSS burner. I'm probably going to go back to Feedly. So let's go back to Feedly. InnoReader may work. There is a challenge for me, something that I've set myself up for that I don't recommend for everybody, is for me to test my tech, cameras, lights, mics, green screens, vision switches, preamps, whatever, alongside testing new software, alongside trying to keep you entertained, alongside not having a nervous breakdown along the way. So I may have taken off a little bit too much today. Probably want to make a GIF of that because you won't hear me say it very often. All right, so let's go to... I need to log out. I have a multiple accounts of Feedly because I have to train with some, so I don't always use... It's the training one. The training one is for me to... there it is, it's coming in now. To not have to show everything that I do. Okay, so let's have a look and see what Facebook is saying. So this is all there. We did commitment to transparency. We did all these ones last week. So this week it's raising funds to protect elephants. Just move that in a bit. Yeah, that'll do. This is called dynamic sizing, by the way. There's so many email newsletters and stuff that don't have dynamic sizing. It drives me bonkers. They're most popular. Giving a little back during the holidays with our season of giving. So they're doing Giving Tuesday, I guess. Giving Tuesday. They're going to match up to $7 million in eligible donations to US nonprofits. US nonprofits. I think it's because they know the regulations of the US and they don't have the kind of teams globally. Most of their teams, like 90%, I'm going to say, are account managers to help sell ads. And then there's a very small team, and mostly working out of Singapore for Australasia, I think, who there's one person that looks after government and there's one person that looks after non-profits and there's one person that looks after, or I think this might be a couple people now that look after policy. And so they don't invest in some of these other things. Anyway, I don't mean that as a criticism. We're a very small nation. We're 22 million people. Facebook is a nation of 1.6 billion. There you go. Hello to people on the Twitters. Cool. What else do we have here? Today in the US, we're launching Drives, our new community help feature that makes it easier to collect food, clothes, and other necessities. Well, that's interesting. So you can use Facebook to do peer-to-peer collection services. Do you remember the Falafel Project and the Burrito Project? They were peer-to-peer feeding the homeless. So anybody could sign up and make burritos at home in the US or falafels in the Middle East, and then log in online and say that they were ready to be picked up, and they could drop them at certain points. I think it was petrol stations and a few community areas. And then people driving past would get a proximity ping to say you're driving past a service station that needs a delivery of burritos to a homeless shelter, and then people would opt in. And it was massive, absolutely massive. It was years ago, maybe 10 years ago. This is back in the day when I believed that social media was going to change the world for the better. And I wish that Facebook would spend as much time and energy in their marketing of their do good, social good programs as they do on, you've got $50 to spend on an ad, because I would be a lot more likely to spend money on the Facebooks if I knew that the foundation of Facebook was for good. Hi, Gary. And Denise, when you at Q&A, would you please suggest the best microphone for Facebook Lives and recording videos for my e-course program? I'm happy to do that now, Denise. There's, first of all, social media expert who's not an expert in anything else, okay? So just you got to bear that in mind. I'm not an audio technician or anything like that, but this is what I've set up. I ended up upgrading my mics over years, and I've ended up with the Rode Procaster. There's another one called Pro Blogger or Pro Vlogger. Let's see if we can find it. And it would be nice if it's on a Black Friday deal for you or Cyber Monday. Procaster Rode. Yeah, this is the one. Currently no stock. This is in Australia, M-Wave. And I'm not surprised. And it's $219. And I went for the dynamic. When you're looking at mics, there's 2x2 types. So there's dynamic and the other one that starts with C. Concatenate or something. See what an expert I am? Not. Versus what? Oh, I should have put dynamic mic. Oh, condenser? Cardioid, which I think is omnidirectional. And what I needed is one that I speak directly into. The problem is if I'm over here, or I'm here, which I do a lot. But the reason why I wanted this is so that if there's any other surrounding sounds around me, I wanted the Rode one, the Procaster one, that allowed me to speak directly into it, and it wouldn't pick up the hum from the hard drive or the computer or anything like that. I'm using a Studio V. We won't spend a lot of time on this because some people want social media news, but I'm using a Studio V3 preamp. I think it's an old one. That might take me to it, I'm not sure. That's it. That's the one that I'm using. And it's pretty old. I think you probably can pick one up on eBay. And I do that because I can change the warmth of my voice here and the intimacy. Depends what you're doing. Are you singing to them, Denise? Would you like me to sing to you? No, probably not. So, whoopsie. So I can a little bit. Like if I knock things all the time. I'm a hand waver. What can I say? I'm also using the Rode arm that came with it. Not recommending it, not recommending it, but I need to just make sure I'm tightening things because I do find, probably because of the hand waving and knocking, that things do get a little bit out of kilter, but at least I can move it up out of the way and swing it round and do whatever I want with it. And you're teaching them, and definitely not singing. Wow, okay. What I recommend you do, once you've got all this set up, is make sure that the software you're using can deal with out of sync audio. I'm hoping mine's in sync. Because I'm using a Blackmagic Vision switcher, and the mic goes into the preamp, and the preamp goes into the Vision switcher, I'm able to then sync, hopefully. You're going to have to let me know if it's working, but hopefully I'm syncing reasonably well the audio with the Vision. And my understanding, again, not an expert, is that audio and video feeds come into the computer at different speeds because of the size of the files and the way the codecs and all that tech works. And so you have to based on your computer, change around how they sync. What's interesting, because I upgraded to a Mac Mini M1, which is running the M1 chip, which is what they use in mobile phones, it's so blindingly fast that I think I'm out of sync by about half a beat or one, whereas my other computer I had to do 4. I had to do a -4 on it. If you're recording outside, do you want the outside noises or not? Look, here's what you do. You look up cardioid and dynamic and see which one suits you for which purpose. And then you look up USB mic and the other one that has the 3 pins that goes into preamps, because a USB mic literally plugs into the USB port on your computer. I'm not using that. I'm using the one with the big round metal plug with the 3-prong thing. Someone out there will know what it's called. And so they're the choices that you have. I chose not to go the USB route, but I do have a USB mic, a little cheapy one from Audio Technica. I think it's the AT2020, but I wouldn't swear to it. And that is for me to pick up my laptop, pick up a USB mic, and then trot off and do whatever I need to do that way. Another one to look at to keep everything in sync is an on-camera mic. 1 second. Sits on the end of that. Oh yeah, this one. Can you see that? What's that one called? It's called the Video Micro Pro, I think. It's definitely the micro one. And it gets a big old beefeater hat. You know those, the military and, not military, the guards in the palaces? Gets one of those on it. Dead cat, it's called. And then that plugs into the camera. And then everything's in sync because it's all coming through one cable. You have to be careful with live streaming because not every HDMI setup will pull sound from the camera, because basically it's an onboard sound. I hope that answered your question. Let's move on to social media news. What have we been doing? We've been doing about 28 minutes. I need to test this a bit further, so we're going to keep going. So I went into Feedly, and we're going to have to go back to Feedly, I think. What else do we have here? We have the Facebook developer. Nothing for a while. Facebook for business. Get started with insights on Facebook and Instagram. Learn more about creating ads. They're shocking with their extracts. No, you're a really terrible Facebook. Alright, let's try Facebook Australia. Myth busted. Facebook does not listen to conversations for ads. Facebook does not use your phone's microphone to inform ads. Not true. Yes, true, but not true. Facebook uses big data companies like Axiom, Epsilon, Datalogics, all their third-party partners. If you Google Facebook on third-party partners, you'll see the list. And even though they're hiding the services now, they pull in those services. And there's something called an ambient environment patent. Now, Facebook did used to listen through your microphone up until I think the first Senate hearing, whenever it was that Mark Zuckerberg said that they didn't. And I noticed they took down all their services. So there was a service that allowed you to see the most popular music that your friends were listening to. And that wasn't declarative. So people weren't going in and filling in the music. It was listening through the phones, and they've turned all that off. So what I think they've done is instead of them using their, and I've read the patents on their, how their mobile phones are being used. Bookmark Manager, Facebook, listening. I think it's under eavesdropping. No. Facebook and its patent. Honestly, I wish I had a better bookmarking tool. Facebook and I think it's mobile geofencing or something. I have to look it up. I may not have bookmarked the patents. I don't always bookmark them, but they have a patent which allows them to do a whole lot of analysis around grouping of phones. So if you and your mates are all sitting in a restaurant, it will the way that it works is like looks at that as a cluster and then extrapolates out behavioral analytics from that. There's a lot to it. You have to go and have a look, and then it maps out where those phones are and what's going on. What I think they've done with the listening part, given that Google's had an ambient environment patent since I think 2008 and Apple as well, 2009, is they're using third-party partners and they're mixing it up. So as an example, I'm watching something on TV, the phone picks up and identifies, uses Google's DeepMind or something to analyze what's going on if I'm using a Google phone, maps that to my ID within big data, so my shopping behaviors and credit card behaviors and all that kind of stuff. Then we're looking at a mashup with pixel retargeting, so Amazon pixels and Facebook pixels and Google pixels. And then the end user of that is Facebook. So is Facebook checking what you're doing on your credit cards, or is Facebook themselves listening through your phone? No. Are they utilizing that data? Yes. So I think it's disingenuous to not educate people around the privacy and not throwing the companies under the bus that they should be throwing under the bus. But of course they're not, because everybody wants that data, including the newspapers and so on and so forth. They're not going to mention. See where you connect to the internet, where you use your phone, your location from your Facebook and Instagram profile, and if you view somebody's webpage, if you download an app, if you use a shopping cart, if you use a coupon, if you make a purchase in a retail store, so physically in the store, signing up for an email newsletter, this is the actual on Facebook tracking that's done. And then obviously the ones they're not mentioning are things like when you fill in a health insurance claim. So I think Bupa works with Quantium, and the other Woolworths ones work with other Woolworths health insurance, and car insurance work with Quantium, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's interesting. Vaguely, I'm interested. I don't know that you guys are interested in that. Where are we? So we put that one away. We put that one away. We'll put that one away. And we'll come back here. All right, we did some of those last week. Let's see what LinkedIn has been up to. You're very welcome, Denise. I'm just appreciative of the fact that you're here and asking questions. And even though I don't promote these and I come in cold and not really expecting to pick up random people that happen to be online at any given time, I really do appreciate when people let me know that they're watching and that they have a question, which just gives me an excuse to keep blabbering on a bit longer, I guess. All right. Oh, LinkedIn does this dumping, social media dumping. If you don't know what it is, it's where you take 100 posts and you put them all up in the same second. So that this was 6 days ago, 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 and they're all videos. So now I would have made a decision 6 days ago to watch one and then not watch the others. I don't know what to tell you. I just think it's really poor content, media diarying, social media content diary, content calendar. What's this? Prime Minister. And they've disabled the RSS. Okay, Reddit. What's Reddit up to? Reddit must have some new stuff. 26 days ago. Nope. Reddit's... Oh, wait. Here we go. 9 days ago. An announcement of adding someone to their board of directors. Given how much Reddit and Twitter are cesspools, particularly for women, both of them have allowed a culture through poor behavioural modelling to come up where there's some hardcore anti-women groups, Reddit and Twitter. The other platforms, not as much. I mean, the worst you get on LinkedIn is probably a bit of mansplaining. Okay, maybe a bit more than a bit of mansplaining. But, Twitter and Reddit is where the threats happen. I'm really impressed that Reddit over time, and I've noticed this time and time again, are adding women to their board of directors. One would hope that means they are addressing certain issues. Does Twitter have women on their board of directors? And how many? Jessie. In Australia, that's a female's name. Mr. Jack, Egon, Mr. Martha, Muslane. Goody. 1. 2. 2. 3. Okay, so 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3 out of 11. I guess it's about average in this day and age. Yep, let's keep going. The Guardian social media section. Can you see this clearly? Just a reminder, you control the resolution with the little cog thing on the platform that you're on. So I'm streaming currently on Facebook, Twitter, 2 Facebooks, a Twitter, LinkedIn, Periscope is Twitter, and YouTube's. I think I'm streaming on them, and hopefully that's large enough for you. Jess says the female version. Yeah, in Australia I've seen Jesse spelt without the I, because I think there's Jesse and there's Jessica Jessie, and I think that they're different. I don't know. And I ask people how they like to identify. So there you go. Explain the difference between Teachable and Podia. I don't like either of them. There's no difference then. I use New Zenler. I thought Podia was a CRM as well. Let's have a look. Oh, no, I know. Yeah, it's a storefront. Teachable doesn't do memberships very well. I was with Teachable for years. They changed the contract all the time. So you could have free courses, then you couldn't. If you had a free account, then you could have, if people paid, then Teachable took a clip of the sale, which I thought was fair, and then they stopped doing that. You weren't allowed to do anything under the free account except set your course up and try and test it. But how can you test it if you're not taking payments? And I don't like Teachable for that reason, and Udemy is in the same boat. Podia looks like a poor man's Shopify. Maybe go to Shopify. Don't know. I like New Zenler for courses because I can have a forum, not a video with comments like Teachable has, but an actual peer-to-peer forum where somebody can post a question and other people can answer it. It also fully integrates with Facebook groups, which a lot of these platforms do not. But I'll be honest with you, Gary, I have not looked into it for some time. Okay, last few things. What are we up to? 41 minutes. I don't want to go to the hour mark if I can help it. For the sake of democracy, social media giants must pay newspapers. John Norton. And again, this is where John Norton and France's Court of Appeal don't understand how this stuff works. It's a fascinating logical fallacy. It makes perfect sense as long as you never ask why no one other than Google pays to link either, and never ask why it should be only newspapers that get paid to link to. So here's the thing. If anybody out there wants to do this, I'm happy to. There are government departments that link to my website. There are universities that link to my website. There are 50 million organizations that link to my website and websites that I'm associated with. So what we need to do if this goes through in Australia is we need to have a court case where I state that I'm an online publisher and that it is legitimate for anybody, including newspapers who link to me, that they have to pay me. And imagine this. Imagine that a restaurant charges Uber Eats or charges, maybe not Uber Eats, because well, this is the thing. Restaurants sign up for Uber Eats and Uber Eats links to the restaurant. Newspapers sign up for Google AMP services, Accelerated Mobile, or Facebook's, the one I can never remember, not Instant Stories. Yes, Instant Stories. They sign up for it. They opt in. And then now they're complaining about it. It is so bizarre. So bizarre. The only place where the news of the French decision seems to be greeted with enthusiasm is Australia, whose ACCC, they've named it incorrectly, is putting finishing touches on a mandatory news code that will be introduced to Parliament before the end of the year. Absolutely bonkers. ACCC has absolutely no idea what they're doing of, and whoever is advising them is giving them super poor advice. It's infuriating. Newspapers will go along with this to see if they can get a little bit of money, but they're always deferring to somebody else's opinion. Watch for that. If the opinion leaders, the Miranda Devines, the Bolts, the people that are not journalists but are actually entertainers or celebrities on media services, if they're not speaking up about it and not getting involved, typically it means that they know there's no leg to stand on, but they're just going to let the ACCC do what it wants to do and then look like, poor us. Nobody steals the content. No, I don't like Thinkific. So just to talk about online course platforms, Thinkific and Teachable I put in the same boat. Very, very similar. They copy each other. I don't like the pages or the way that they're set up. I want a community around my courses. I don't necessarily want just I don't want a group of YouTube videos with comments on them. You know, play this video, leave a comment, question. Play this video, leave a question. Oh, and by the way, here's a PDF ebook. That's not what I do with my courses. I want more than that. So as an example, on I think it's the 15th of December, I will tell you and you can let me know if you're interested. It's probably a weekend. I've got it all wrong. 16th of December. I'm doing inside my course, inside my school, I'm doing a live stream on how to do a social media audit. I'll be setting homeworks in the live stream and people can ask me questions, a little bit like it is now in these public sessions, but these are private. People will be doing the homework. They'll be discussing in an online forum the homework, and then they'll be coming back in for the follow-up. And it's all about getting your page into shape for next year, for 2021, because 2021 is not going to be like 2020. Is it? Please? Please? And I can't do that on the Teachables and the New Kajabi. New Kajabi probably, but New Kajabi is way overpriced for what it is. And Thinkific. You can if you have a Facebook group, but then you have to tell people, and then the live streaming, you have to tell people go to the Facebook group, and then I like it all built in. So what New Zenler does is it integrates Zoom into the school so that I can have people that are signed up in a specific course see the Zoom session. I can invite them in. I can schedule the event. I can do all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I just needed more features than I sort of see Udemy is the very bottom of the pile, Thinkific and Teachable as being peer-to-peer. New Kajabi is on the same level for me, but just more expensive. But then they have a few templates, and the templates are beautiful, but you have to stick with those templates. And then New Zenler's up further. Right down the bottom is the Podia, Shopify, Click Me type of churn out a course stuff. So it depends on what you're looking for. And then right at the top are the services that we use at universities, and getting your courses listed on edX, which I think is TEDx. No, edX is Google, Coursera, and those kind of platforms that have Harvard and some of the big colleges and schools on them. So I've played around with sort of moving up and down through all of those, and then found that New Zenler worked for me because of the additional community features that I wanted for online courses. It's new, and then actually let me give you the link because I have a discount link for you. It's an affiliate link. I think it pays for a coffee for me, but I like to give it to people because they get a discount. And what is it called? Affiliate, I guess, or partner. One of the things I like doing the live streams because they freak me out. In class, I have all my tabs pre-set up. I'm moving my story from tab to tab to tab, doing live demonstrations, keeping an eye on the clock, and I know where I'm going. With the live streams and people asking questions that are kind of not within the parameters of a specific lecture, it's very weird, super weird. Oh, where is it? All right, so if I go to my school, training.lowellpapworth.com, let's go on to here. Just come out of it for a second. So this is my school, and what you'll notice with New Zenler is that I can have real life classes. I can set up social media mentoring online. I have an executive course, and then a sort of a standard social media managers course. And then I have Sydney classes, a 3-day class, a 2-day class, and then an out in a winery class. This is when we're not in the middle of COVID. People can put an email in, blah, blah, blah. They can go through to the rest of it. And then when you go to here, you copy the link address. And I'll put it in here. And if there is a discount, it should be attached to that. If you don't want to use my link, and I'm fine with that, like I said, I get paid for a cup of coffee out of it, then what you want to do is shift to just Google New Zealand or coupon or discount or something like that, and you might find better pricing. So look around for the pricing. One thing I liked about New Zealand is once I was locked in on a price, I'm locked into that price for life. And they've also told me that if I do choose to upgrade, I get the founder's upgrade price later on. So they have a few different pricing structures. I only needed 2 or 3 schools and it all came under the basic pricing. So I've chosen that one. I still use the Zapiers and, quickly, because we all know this is going to come to an end. I like Cyber Monday better than I like Black Friday because I don't want my consumerism to lead to the detriment of a planet. A planet? The planet. But Pabbly is a form of Zapier, and I believe that they have a lifetime deal. LTD, lifetime deal. $49. Black Friday deal. Or is that a subscription billing one? Anyway, have a look around because I believe that Pabbly, which is a competitor to Zapier, or If This Then That. So if you're ever in a position where you want to say, if this company posts a new blog post, then email me, or when the Weather Bureau says there's a high weather alert, then SMS me, or if the RFS says there's a bushfire in this area, then, ring me or something. You can set up these online, offline automations. So Pabbly, Zapier, If This Then That, iftt.com are kind of similar, but I liked Pabbly and bought a number of licenses for them because I bought the lifetime deal. What else do we have as for today? Oh yeah, there's one I haven't bought yet. I don't know if I'm going to. What's my password? Someday I'm going to say that and somebody's going to say, I know your password. I'm using LastPass, so, oh lordy. Okay, so AppSumo's broken. That might mean I can't get the one that I want. But the one I'm thinking of buying might be under Black Friday deal here. Is Happy Scribe. $69 for life. Denise, if you're still listening, you might like this one. $69 for life. It automatically transcribes and adds subtitles for audio and video. You get charged, or not charged, I think for life it's 4 hours. I'm going to go for 4 hours. So that's 2 licenses. All right, $69 for 2 hours a month, $138 for 4 hours. And that's the first time it transcribes it. So I'm going to, you link to your video on Vimeo or YouTube or wherever the video is. Happy Scribe listens to the video, and then the algorithm creates the transcription, which you can edit quickly. Like, if you find that it's not picking up your accent, I think it learns. That's why there's an AI involved. I wouldn't swear to that. But then it's free for the transcription into every other language. So if I think, Gary, you sometimes do lectures with via Zoom with the Netherlands or Middle East or something, you can click a button and your English transcription, it's an SRT, closed caption, is auto-generated, and you can upload it so that people can choose the language on Facebook or YouTube that they want to see the subtitles in. It's really good for SEO because when you manually upload subtitles that are corrected, the algorithm, even though deep text and deep mind and deep face and all those sort of things still try to understand the video, it works better if you manually uploading the actual text for what that video is about. Go to AppSumo. I've got a do you want another discount? No, just it's cheap enough. Just you don't need my discount codes. Just go to AppSumo, go to Black Friday, see if you can sign up if you haven't already. Choose 1 or 2 codes. I'm going for 4 hours because when I create online courses, I binge. Like I'm not in the mood for it for months, and then suddenly I'll do 10 videos and need to edit them and upload them. So because I'm a bit of a binger that way, the 2 codes will see me through my live streams, my online courses, and also it's nice when I'm doing video invitations for conferences. So, hey guys, I'm speaking next week at blah blah conference, and I give that video to the conference organizer, and then I'll be able to give them the SRTs as well. What does SRT stand for? Subscript, superscript, SRT. There's a couple of different kinds. Subtitle. Don't do. You want to stay with closed captions. Subrip subtitle file. Subrip title, I guess. You guys aren't very helpful. You're asking me questions and you don't answer any of them. I asked what was SRT and nobody told me. I had to go to Uncle Google. Uncle Google, my best friend, the person that the algorithm thing, robot, awareness, matrix, Skynet that knows my inner needs and makes me look good all the time. Yeah. So anyway, when I get loopy like this, it's time to move on. So what do we cover today? I'm either crap at InnoReader or InnoReader is crap for me, one or the other. I may have to go back to Feedly and Fetch RSS as my RSS reader because I want to bring in Facebook pages that I'm not the admin of and monitor them. I'm not sure InnoReader can do that. What else did we do? We looked at news and did a few more rants around how the ACCC doesn't understand media distribution and the fact that media companies are opting in for instant stories and AMP and such. We're looking at Teachable and Udemy and Podia and New Zenler and all the online course software because I create online courses for myself, for my clients, for industry organizations or whatever. So what do I recommend to them? I'm trying to remember what else we went through. Oh, we went through my Black Friday deals. So what did I buy for Black Friday, what did I buy? I went to JB Hi-Fi and I bought the new Mac Mini M4 and a MacBook Air M4, both of them the base model, and they are blindingly fast compared to my much bigger, much more expensive machines. I am going to buy Happy Scribe within the next 27 hours if AppSumo lets me in, and I'll probably buy 2 licenses of that so that I can have translations of my videos into other languages as well as the SRT files, the subtitling files. I I bought in a reader on the Black Friday deal, but not convinced I want to keep it. We may have to go back to them and say what's going on. What else? Black Friday wise, I'm not a big spender. Everything I looked at, I'd already bought last Black Friday, and I bought lifetime deals because I'm allergic to monthly subscriptions. $4 a month adds up to $5,000 real quick, especially when everything's $4 a month. But Pabbly is a replacement for Zapier on a lifetime deal. I didn't get a lifetime deal on New Zenler, but I was able to get a deal on a yearly annual subscription, so I like that one. In fact, I've just renewed mine. What did you get for Black Friday and Cyber Monday? And what are you doing for Giving Tuesday? Anybody who books a mentoring session or really spends any money with me tomorrow, or even just sends me an email promising that they're going to book, and then they have to go through their finance office and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be next year before they actually book. Anybody who lets me know today or tomorrow that you're thinking of doing that, I will honour a 50% discount. Not a 50% discount. No discount. But I will take 50% and give it to the Fred Hollows Foundation, which is the foundation that my dad liked, for tomorrow, which is Giving Tuesday. So once a year, after Black Friday, after Cyber Monday, in the hope that someone's got a few pennies left, is Giving Tuesday. This year it's on December the 1st. And so you'll be able to, I don't know, I just thought it'd be a nice thing to do. My dad passed away a few years ago, and I've been planning to try and find something that he would be proud of. Anyway, whatever. I am going to love you and leave you. And on Thursday, I'm doing a tutorial, and I will post up what that's going to be about. So rather than this sort of waffly thing that I do on Mondays when I'm checking my tech, on Thursday I will do an actual steady as she goes, step by step, using all of my accreditation as a Cert 4 trainer for adults, and we'll do a proper tutorial on Thursday. So what would you like to see? What would you like a tutorial on? Don't say Facebook ads. Okay, say Facebook ads. Everybody says Facebook ads, but choose a specific part of Facebook ads if you're going to say Facebook ads. If you say something else, I'll probably do the something else. So I'm just letting you know now. All right. Gary Friedman bought webinar kit on Friday. Cool. I've got a few webinar programs such as Webinar Ninja or something, and I don't know. But I tend to stick with Zoom. I do use the others, but only if the client says, do you have this one? And I go, oh yeah, I've got that one. But I buy lifetime deals of those so that I'm there when my clients need it. Anyway, see you everybody. See you Thursday at 1 p.m. And I'm going to love you and leave you. Okay. Bye.